Okay, so I'm back. I traveled all the way to Dynamic Island to bring you my review of the brand new iPhone 14 Pro. Alright, in all seriousness now, I was not expecting this much from the iPhone 14. I mean, there's a lot to get excited about the iPhone 14, from the always-on display, the satellite connectivity, the eSIM, the improved camera system, action mode, Dynamic Island. Can we please talk about the name for 1 second? Dynamic Island? I mean, that's just the most Apple-y thing Apple has ever done. And it's not just a normal feature, it's actually useful on our daily life. Dynamic Island is basically the home for all of our alerts. So from incoming calls, connected AirPods, Face ID, Apple Pay, AirDrop, airplane mode, timers, maps direction, there's so many animations that are so incredibly well done. I mean, the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip, is the folding phone actually useful? Maybe, maybe not, but it's fun, right? The Nothing phone. There's lights coming out of the phone. I love when technology is fun, and Dynamic Island on the iPhone 14 is a lot of fun, and I love that. All right, let's talk about the cameras, because it's honestly unbelievable. It's honestly insane that I got to film that intro of this video all shot on iPhone 14 Pro.
Clear for takeoff.
It is unbelievable what Apple has done with the camera of the iPhone throughout the years. There's some awesome improvements for this year's iPhone, but yeah, can we just talk about how good the camera of our smartphones are today? It's just unbelievable. Starting off with my favorite camera feature, action mode. I mean, just check this out. I was running like crazy and it was very, very shaky, and look at the result. The result, when you turn on action mode, it stabilizes the image so incredibly well. I mean, just take a look at those crazy FPV shots. That was all stabilized with action mode. It's honestly unreal. One thing that I wish it would have is 4K action mode. You can only shoot up to 2.8K, which is still amazing. So that's something to ask for next year. And yes, cinematic mode can now record in 4K at 30 frames per second. Thank you. One of the things that I complained about last year in my review is that cinematic mode on the iPhone was amazing, but no 4K kind of defeats the whole purpose of cinematic mode. I mean, cinematic mode is meant to look cinematic. It's meant to look as best as possible. So Apple not giving us that 4K was kind of upsetting, but it's here and it looks amazing. And here's the craziest part. The iPhone, since the iPhone 6s, has always had a 12 megapixel sensor, but now on the iPhone 14 Pro, we now get a 48 megapixel sensor. My conclusion with this is that you get way much more faster shutter speeds, especially during nighttime, which is really, really welcome. I mean, since we have so much more information, the iPhone already knows and is easier to capture. Something that I missed about the iPhone 13 Pro is zooming optically 2 times, and now with the iPhone 14 Pro, that's possible. So you can now have the amazing versatilities to shoot at 0.5 times 1 times 2 and times 3. All right, and the feature that all the Android fans were waiting for, always on display, finally on the iPhone. So now when you turn off your iPhone, the display will always be on. It will refresh at 1 Hz. And here's the thing, the always on display is actually quite bright. And in some occasions, I just wish that we could actually customize the always on display. Maybe I don't want to show my wallpaper. Maybe I don't want to show my widgets. Maybe I just want the time. Apple, for next year, or maybe for iOS 17, please give us the option to customize that always on display. Talking about brightness, by the way, something else that is new is that the iPhone now reaches a peak brightness outdoors of 2000 nits. Now you have to experience this by yourself. Today, it was very, very sunny, and the amount of brightness that was on my screen, it was honestly unreal. 2000 brightness on a display is very, very high. You know what's also a very big deal? Satellite connectivity. Let's say you're in the middle of the mountain and you break your leg, which I really hope it doesn't happen, or maybe a dinosaur is coming after you in Dynamic Island. The iPhone will actually help you find that satellite connectivity. It's honestly mind-blowing the way that it works. Something else that I really hope you don't use is car crash detection. Yes, if you're in a car crash, your iPhone will basically ask you, hey, Are you okay? Do you want me to call emergency services? And if you don't reply, it will actually send a live location to your preferred contacts. The heart of the iPhone 14 Pro is the A16 Bionic chip, which in real life, you're gonna get extremely solid performance and bumped up in battery life. Now, the bumped up in battery life, I haven't really expected an improvement in battery life, which is what Apple says. In my case, I don't know if I'm using the iPhone a lot and shooting a bunch of B-roll for this review, but I haven't really noticed a good battery life. Instead, I've actually noticed a weaker battery life than the iPhone 13 Pro. Maybe this is the always on display. I don't know what it is. I'll keep you guys updated in terms of the battery life, but other than that, A16 Bionic, amazing. Now here's the thing, big jump, massive jump. I mean, Apple has transformed its weakness into a strength. I wasn't expecting this much big of an upgrade compared to last year's model. Now here's the thing, are all of these features worth an upgrade from your iPhone 13 Pro? No, probably not. But can we all agree on the fact that you don't have to buy a new iPhone every single year? But these features are definitely welcome. And here's the thing, if you do want to buy an iPhone every single year, that is cool as well. Let's just respect each other because that's the magic of the entire world. Thank you so much for watching. Be happy, life is good, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
¡Corre, corre, corre!